Hello and welcome to the 15th episode of HSV International, the English-speaking HSV fan podcast. My name is Philipp, and like always, together with me is Lennart. Hi, Lennart.
Hi, Philipp. How are you?
I'm very good after a great weekend. Especially the day yesterday was absolutely magnificent with an amazing game against Freiburg. But how are you?
Quite the same for me as well. Like you said, great game against Freiburg. So yesterday was an amazing day, and the whole weekend was pretty fine.
That's great to hear. And we will cover all of the game against Freiburg later in this episode. Maybe just a preview what's awaiting you in this episode, because it will be a special episode, because we will adjust our structure a bit. First of all, today we will have a look back on the match against Freiburg. We will cover current news of the week, because there were some. And we will, of course, look ahead on our game against Leverkusen. And then there is a special adjustment, because we will also have a look on the other divisions, because the next weekend will be a very special weekend, as it is the last match day of the season, not only for HSV and not only for the Bundesliga, but also for the second Bundesliga and for the third division. An amazing weekend ahead. Very nice when you see that all of the games are played in parallel to each other. There is no delay between the games. All are played at the same time. Bundesliga plays Saturday, 3:30. Second division, Sunday, 3:30. And the third division also on Saturday at 2 p.m. I am very much looking forward on this weekend, also on these other divisions. So it's quite intense. What do you think about it, Lennart?
Yeah, at least this year I enjoyed it as well. I mean, the last years we were pretty nervous, most of them, so I couldn't really enjoy it, to be honest. But this year I'm looking very forward to it as well, because we can look quite relaxed on the other games, just as spectators, not really involved, I would say, at least not much. But we will talk about that later in this episode. So I'm looking forward to it as well, because it's quite exciting every time. Even if we were involved, I mean, it would be even more exciting, but not necessarily in a good way. So this year we just have, I would say, Luxus situation, like you call it in Germany. So I can only agree with you. Looking very forward to this weekend.
Yeah, we are looking forward. And then after this episode, you will be witnessing another special episode, maybe one of the probably funniest episodes you will ever hear from us in one single year, because after our game against Leverkusen, we will fly to Mallorca, to the island in Spain, which is probably known to some of you as the German party island, because many Germans every season, every year, fly over to Spain, to Mallorca, to celebrate. May it be either a conclusion of the amateur season or the just annual visit of the island, having a party with friends and meeting new people there. It's always a great atmosphere there. And it's also funny because so many people are there in jerseys, so many football fans are there, and we plan a very special episode. We plan to meet HSV fans there and involve them in the episode, maybe with some interviews. So we will see, but it will be a fun episode with up to 5, or is it 4 or 5 guests in total? It's 4 guests in total, right?
4 guests,
we are 6 persons there as the group. Yeah, but I promise it will be a lot of fun to listen to next week's episode. Already looking forward to record it. And afterwards, we will publish in a bi-weekly schedule. Then it's summer break. There are no games on the weekends, but we will cover all around the club nevertheless, but in a bi-weekly schedule. We will cover core topics such as the season review, players assessment, potential transfers, and also some other topics around HSV and maybe also around German football as well. But of course, every episode, main focus is on our club. And with that being said, did I forget anything, Lennart?
No, I don't think so. I think you covered all. Maybe just at some other point, we'll of course also talk about World Cup related stuff during the tournament.
Oh yes.
But
yeah, thank you, Lennart. Perfect, Ed. I absolutely forgot about it, but you're absolutely right. And World Cup, also looking forward to this. But now you've heard my voice enough. Let's continue with the first topic of this episode, the review of the Freiburg game. So I hand over to you. You can explain to our listeners, how was the weekend? How was the Sunday? How did we spend the day? How did we arrive? What did we witness in the stadium? Explain a bit.
Yeah, first of all, like so often, we arrived by train with one of our friends. We went by train with 3 people, arrived, I think, quite punctual in Hamburg. We met some other friends from our fan club, as also just like usual. And we went quite early in the stadium, I would say, around maybe 2 o'clock. Around that, went directly in our fan block area. A great atmosphere, like we predicted, I would say, last week, because of the secure league, very relaxed. Everyone was very happy. Everyone we met there, just a great feeling, which we didn't experience in a very, very long time. So early in the season, even if it sounds quite ridiculous, the second last match day, but for us, it is quite early. I think I felt it was 13 years ago that we then had to fight for something very important, like the relegation battle. If it comes up or down, for the last 13 years, we had to fight for something, and therefore it was quite relaxed, I would say.
It was absolutely relaxing to be in the stadium. It was full like always anyways. So even though we were pretty relaxed, everybody was looking forward on the game. Everybody was looking forward to say goodbye to Luka Vuskovic and to potentially Fabio Vieira as well. Yeah, it was maybe the last time we saw them in our home stadium in Hamburg. But first of all, when the team entered the ground, the pitch, they entered the pitch with a banner from the supporters. And on this banner, there was written, "Together Unstoppable." And it was depicting the squad in front of the home stand, the Nordtribüne, just showing the bond that the club and the squad in particular and the supporters on our stand has with each other. It's just amazing. What was grown in this season was so much fun. We believed in each other throughout the season. We never gave up. And this was just a huge party against Freiburg. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. You could experience over the last few years already. And we talked about it a couple of times, that this connection was probably especially built under Tim Walter. And after that, it continued through every other coach we had every other season. I mean, we also experienced seasons where it was difficult, the connection between the team and the supporters in Hamburg. But over the last years, it's just amazing. Even if the results weren't good, and we had a very, very difficult start of the season. If you remember the first home game against St. Pauli, where we were very disappointed and not really looking forward to the whole season, to be honest, after that game, not being very optimistic. But the team always had the supporters at their back end. Just a great support over the whole season, which the team paid back totally.
I think in the end, it was like, for us supporters, it was like seeing friends playing on the pitch. It was like you got to know the guys on the pitch. You really felt a personal connection between the stands and the team on the pitch. And it was just amazing. And that's what you see. And we mentioned it last week in Frankfurt. What's missing there at the moment? The bond between supporters and team. So like you said, we had other times as well. But this, at the moment, the past 2 years, and especially since Tim Walter arrived in Hamburg, is just amazing. And we can be so proud and so happy to be HSV fans, actually. Yeah, but what happened on the pitch? Maybe just quickly. We won 3-2 against Freiburg with 3 special goals, I would say. Right? So who scored our goals and in which order?
Yeah, totally. I mean, first of all, I would say it was a great performance, a very deserved win. And about the goal scorers, the first goal by Bakriata. And before talking about that, I think we have to point out the assist of Grünweg, because I
wasn't
believe,
it Otto Stange?
No, it was Stange with the cross, and then the defender blocked it. The ball
True.
got to Grünweg, and I thought most of the players, or most players in general, might have shot on their own or on his own. But he had the setup, saw Jatta at the other post, and a great pass, and then was, I would say, business as usual for a Bundesliga player, and the free goal. Still, he made the shot, and his first Bundesliga goal in this career. So very happy for him.
Yes, very happy. Then we conceded the first goal. It was 1-1. And we conceded the goal from Igor Matanovic, former St. Pauli player, or one of our biggest rivals, City neighbor.
And born in Hamburg.
He, the goal scorer, Matanovic, then went to the corner flag and was kicking it. Like what is it? A boxer? Is it also in English, right? Boxer.
Yeah, kickboxer, yeah.
Kickboxer, yeah. He kicked the flag. And this flag, this little thing on top of the flag is like our symbol, our HSV Raute. And he was a St. Pauli player and showing like, okay, I'm kicking HSV. And then, this was just in front of us, in front of our stand. It was insane, and it's just a very unsportsmanlike conduct, like we were mentioning from Leonardo Bittencourt in the Nord Derby. Yeah, but then second half, luckily, it was us again scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. And what better goal scorer you could have imagined than Luka Vuskovic with a direct free kick in his, like you said, probably and sadly last home game for us. And that he scored a goal. It might be a little bit too kitschy to be true, to be honest, that he scored it, at least for some people. But for us in the stands, it was just an amazing feeling, I would say. What were your first thoughts when we saw Vuskovic running through the ball, kicking it, and the ball going in?
Amazing feeling. He was lucky that the ball went in, to be honest.
Yeah, totally.
Hit a Freiburg player, and then the ball went in, and it was an amazing feeling, seeing him cheering in front of us one more time was amazing. And like he said in the interview after the game, 99.999% was his last game for us. And all of us knew that. And seeing him cheering in front of us for the last time was, incredible. Was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And just 2 minutes, I think, later, maybe 3, we had another debut goal. Philipp, what would you say about that one?
It was speedy on the pitch, right? It was Fabio Balde after an assist from who played the long ball. Was it Remberg? No, right? It was? Who was it?
Was it Remberg? I thought it was Capaldo, to be honest.
Could also be Capaldo. Long ball from one of our defenders or midfielders. And Fabio Balde was just running, passing Matthias Ginter and then scoring the goal. He was starting at the half of the pitch, and like his run against Stuttgart, he was just the fastest player on the pitch, and I think this was also recorded. Of course, everything what the players do on the pitch is recorded, and afterwards it was confirmed that this run was the fastest run on the pitch. And I think even throughout the whole season, the fastest run in our club's season. Maybe I'm mistaken, but maybe I'm mistaken. I have no idea, but
he was pretty fast. So
yeah, it was insane. I have a look at it. It was like a cheat. He was just passing all the players, and then also had his nerves under control and scored the goal. A first goal for Fabio Balde in the Bundesliga, potentially improving his market value, because it's a rumor that he will leave us in summer. We will cover this in a special episode during the summer break.
When we have more information about it as well. And I just looked it up. It was Remberg with the long ball to Balde. You were right about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe the last thing, again, Igor Matanovic scored the second goal for Freiburg a couple of minutes before the game ended. Yeah, but probably the most important thing in the end was the substitution from Luka and Fabio, and they left the pitch both at the same time. Maybe two of the best players the two of us, Lennart, have witnessed in our jersey. Luka Vuskovic, maybe the best central defender we've ever had in the club, and Fabio Vieira. We are probably too young to say it and to really assess it, but maybe the best player on the foot since Rafael van der Vaart. Yeah, just two amazing players leaving the pitch on their last home game was emotional.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, I would totally agree with you that Fabio is the best player at the ball after Rafael played for us and came to our club in 2005. Yeah, but Vuskovic, at least he's the greatest talent. I think everyone of us can agree on that. We had very, very good center backs in the past as well. Daniel van Boyten, Khalid Boudarouche, but I would definitely put him on that list as well. And then you can argue if he was, or if he is already better than they were. I believe that he will be better in the future.
It's just a privilege to have had him for a year.
Definitely.
It's amazing that he wear our jersey for a year. And yeah, like the way he said goodbye in the interviews afterwards, he was mentioning that he loves the club a bit too much. This was just pure emotion. He's just such a nice guy, and I'm very curious about the club that will be his next one and where he will play next year.
Absolutely, and it's nice to hear that he has the same feelings as we do as well, I believe, because
yeah.
I think everyone of us loves him too much as well, especially if you're considering that we all knew that he was just here for a year, falling in love with a player on loan so fast, so much is quite sad as well, I would say. Even if we, of course, are very happy that he was here, that he played for us and will be playing next week as well. One last game for us. It's still quite sad that he will leave us.
Absolutely. But maybe to conclude the Freiburg game, and you already pointed it out, we will have one more game to see Luka Vuskovic wearing our jersey next week in Leverkusen. Maybe we can quickly cover this game and then continue with the news of the week, because this will be just very quick. Last away day of the season, both of us, Lennart, will be there. Small stadium. I think it has a capacity of around 30,000 seats, but of course the guest sector will be full like always. We are all looking forward, we hope, on great weather and just saying goodbye to a squad that has presented us just one of the most amazing seasons since at least I am a Haas supporter. Don't know how you see it, Lennart.
It's at least very, very long time ago, I would say, for me as well, that I had a better Bundesliga season. So, yeah, I'm very happy and very thankful to the squad as well, because I think no one of us would have imagined at least not such a good position in the table, because right now the only places still possible are from the 10th to the 13th place. And name me one HSV supporter who wouldn't have agreed on one of that places. So very happy with them.
Absolutely. Amazing placement in the end. And yeah, you have to also be realistic. For Leverkusen, it's a very important match on Saturday. They are still playing for the... Is it also Champions League?
Yeah. European League is secured, and right now there are very, very small chances for the Champions League, but they still have the chances. They need to win, and then they have to look on 2 other games, but we will talk about that in a couple of minutes. So yeah, they have chances, exactly. So they need to win for a very important reason, not just getting one place in the table better than we do. So for us, it's just like maybe we will end up at the 10th place or maybe the 11th place. And for Leverkusen, there's a little more going on next weekend.
Exactly. But like you said, we will cover it later, the constellation of the table. end of the tables in the other divisions. So we will let you know next week what was awaiting us in Leverkusen and what we witnessed there. Let's hope for a great end of the season. Current news, maybe let's have a look at our women's team. What did they do on the weekend, Lennart?
Yeah, sadly they lost in the last, we could say second, in Köln, 2-1. I saw the game. The additional time was announced with 6 minutes, and in the 7 minutes of the additional time, they, got the last goal in the goal. So very sad ending, but if you saw the game, you have to admit that it was a well-deserved win for Köln. Still sad because just 1 minute and you would have secured the league as well. You wouldn't have to look on other games or your own game next weekends. You could have another reason for a huge party on Sunday, but it was a well-deserved win for Köln. But since Essen lost the game, I believe on Friday already against Nürnberg, you still have a very, very good position before the last match day on Sunday in the Women's League. So I'm still very convinced that they will stay in the league as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just 1 point would have been enough to secure the league. And now on the last match day, it's not too probable that we will secure the missing point to really secure the league and to have it in our own hands, because the last match will be against Bayern München. And at the same time, it's still the only competitor for the last spot in the Bundesliga. SGS Essen, they play against Freiburg in Essen in a full stadium here in my hometown. And I know that they really try their best to get the stadium full and to secure their spot in the league. Yeah, it will be tough, but I think we have like
11 goals.
We have 11 goals better than Essen, so there must happen a lot to really relegate in the end. Let's hope for the best. We will see on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. So we wish them only the best, and still very convinced that they will manage to stay in the league. Another very great news, which arrived us today. I think I can speak for every HSV supporter that we are very happy about that Nicolas Capaldo is in the provisional World Cup squad for Argentina. I mean, there are 55 players, so it might be not enough for the final squad, but very happy for him that he received this honor and still has the opportunity to be at the World Cup for a very, very strong contender and the reigning World Cup champion.
Absolutely great achievement. Alone being nominated in this preliminary squad is huge, especially like you said, in this nation. Amazing. And like you said earlier, Lennart, when we were not recording, when we were just discussing this news, it's also a probability that a HSV player will become world champion.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a squad that really has the chances to win the cup. And even if I know, and both of us were mentioning it as well, Lennart, it's not very probable that Capaldo will make it into the final squad. But if he does, then it's amazing. And maybe we are supporting Argentina as well.
Yeah. You might have think about getting a jersey from them with Capaldo on it.
Oh, yes, definitely. If he will be nominated, 100%.
Yeah. So at least congratulate him on that achievement, and well deserved after amazing season. I mean, I think both of us can't really wait, especially the defense from Argentina. And of course, there are very, very huge names in the squad, but most of them, I would say, are offensive players, which not in that competition to Capaldo, I would say. Therefore, maybe he has a chance because he's you can put him on so many positions. I mean, we discussed it earlier as well. He can play center back, he can play right back, he can play in the center midfield, especially in the defense part of it. So he might really be a good addition to the squad, but yeah. let's see about how the coach of them sees it. I wish him all the best. Hopefully he will be in the squad in the end as well, and we can see him play in June and July.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Yeah, today we have, again, a question of the week. I'm so happy that we have a question in this episode. Yeah, I would say you can play it, right?
Of course. Let's see about it. I'm looking very forward to it as well.
Look auf and hello. First of all, I want to congratulate you guys on securing the league. I know in the stands you gave it your everything. In last week's episode, you were talking about a very nice trip to Frankfurt with some drinks, which brought back memories from our joint time in Italy, Philip. But especially the Aperol from our beloved city of Padua. Speaking of Padua, I had a look and was very kindly surprised that they obviously bettered off their terrible football, to say it nicely, and are playing now in Serie B and secured the league with the 10th position also. Now, checking a little bit of Serie B statistics, I found that the top scorer of Serie B is a striker with a past at HSV. And Philip, we saw him live. But now he's playing at a different club than back then. Can you guys tell me the striker? Furthermore, I want to say that I'm really looking forward to having 2 matches again against the HSV next year. Once in Hamburg and with an amazing crowd, but then one with an even better crowd at Schalke. I'm very looking forward to the matches, the exchange, the arguments in the stadium before and after, and for 6 points for Schalke. Look out!
Yeah. Thank you, Kalle. Thank you for this question. Amazing. Lennart, I think both of us know the striker, right?
Yeah, I think we both saw him play in Italy as well already when we visited you in Padua.
Yes.
The Finnish striker who played for us in the 2nd division, Joel
Poyampalo. And when we saw him together, Lennart, he still played for Venice. And now he's playing for Palermo. And I don't know how many goals he scored, but I just saw a video last weekend from Palermo. The stadium is sold out. I mean, probably the stands are full. You never know in Italy if it's really sold out in the end, but amazing atmosphere. And he's loved in Palermo. He's scoring all the time there and they love him. And with his goals, he's secured Palermo a spot in the promotion relegation spots. So in Italy, in Serie B, they have like 6 slots playing a playoff round for promotion to Serie A. And Palermo is one of the clubs playing around this promotion. And 6 points cut next year. And Lennart, what can we say about this?
Yeah, we hope for 6 points as well, but obviously for Hamburg, not for Schalke. And therefore, also to say that this better fan debate, let's not head too deep into this and just say that, of course, the best fans in the world are in Hamburg and we should keep it at that.
Yeah, but anyways, congratulations, of course, also to Schalke.
Of course, definitely, yeah.
It's well-deserved promotion back to the Bundesliga and absolutely enriching for the whole division to have Schalke back, to have the crowd back, to have the stadium back, also for the entire region. I'm living here in this region and you see what it means for the region, what it means for the city of Gelsenkirchen, what it means to the supporters here, what it means for all companies here. Schalke is huge. I'm not a Schalke supporter and I've never been, but also from my side, congratulations. But like you said, Lennart, the 6 points will go with us.
Absolutely. And I mean, there can't be 2 opinions about the fact that Schalke is a very, very big club and probably one of the biggest clubs in Germany as well. And like you said, the whole league can be lucky that they are back. There will be great atmosphere in the race that obviously as well as in Gelsenkirchen at their home games. So football Germany can be very happy about it. And probably even some fans of Borussia Dortmund will agree on that.
That's true. And with that being said, it was the perfect introduction, thank you, Kalle, to also have a look into the other divisions here in German football. We will have a look at the second division in just a minute. Just quickly, what happened in the third division. The battle around the first slot in this league is insane. There is the first team, Osnabrück, which has already secured the promotion back to the second division. And then there's 3 to 4 clubs fighting around the promotion for second division, which are, Lennart?
First of all, we have Energie Cottbus with the best position right now with 69 points. Then there's MSV Duisburg with 67 points, Rot-Weiß Essen with 67 points as well, and still with very small chances, Hansa Rostock with 64 points, who could secure a relegation spot as well.
Exactly. And with these gaps between the points, you can see how probable the chances for Hansa Rostock are and also for Rot-Weiß Essen. We will see, but this promotion battle is insane. It's the last match day on Saturday at 2 p.m. So a bit before we start our match against Leverkusen.
No, it's 1:30. It's not 2 p.m. because
it's 1:30.
Yeah, they want to secure that the games are over when the first division starts.
Okay.
Therefore, it's 1:30. Yeah.
Okay. So a tough battle, but to conclude this about the third division, and this is a special thing about German football and why we are mentioning this, all of these clubs have a huge and long history in German football. They are old clubs with a huge fan base, and when they promote, it doesn't matter if it's Cottbus, Duisburg, Essen, or even Hansa Rostock, they would instantly improve the quality of clubs in the second division, bringing in supporters, traveling throughout Germany, with a great atmosphere. And I think it will be an amazing ad for the second Bundesliga. And second Bundesliga, how is the situation there?
Yeah, it's probably even closer. If you think about that, you have to look in the top part of the table, but also in the bottom one. I mean, we did talk about that because in the third league, the teams who are being relegated are already decided, but in the second league, it's still very open. And I mean, the first team is now secure with Münster last weekend, but now we have Greuther Fürth, who will be fighting for their spot, Arminia Bielefeld, Fortuna Düsseldorf, Eintracht Braunschweig, Dynamo Dresden, and even Magdeburg. So the crazy list of clubs. I mean, you have 8 out of 9 games next weekend in the second league where something will be decided. Maybe in the relegation zone and on the bottom part, or in the top part where we have, of course, Schalke, like we already talked about it, already in the first Bundesliga next season. And then we might have to add Elversberg, Hannover, or Paderborn to this list as well. One team will go up directly, one team in the relegation battle. Yeah. And the other one will be very, very disappointed on Sunday.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked about it before. 9 games at the same time. What a crazy match day will that be? We will have a look at it together when we are in Mallorca. We can watch these games with a relaxing atmosphere, having a couple of drinks, looking so much forward to it. Lennart, will be amazing.
Yeah, totally. And you have great matchups as well. I mean, Greuther Fürth against Fortuna Düsseldorf, game where, I mean, it's probably not this much of a final right now because Düsseldorf, after the last match, are now 3 points and 5 goals ahead of Greuther Fürth. Therefore, they have to win with 3 goals to get past Düsseldorf, but still a very important game for both of them. I'm looking very forward to it as well. Our friends from Hannover, where our both fan groups, Hamburg and Hannover, are friends who are still fighting for the opportunity to play along us in the first league next season as well. Also for the HSV supporters, friendship with Arminia Bielefeld, who are fighting very, very difficult battle against Berlin on Sunday. Right now, like Hannover as well, at the relegation place, would play currently against MSV Duisburg. let's see about that. And like you said, looking very, very forward to the Sunday, to the deciding matches in the second league.
Me too. And me personally, I hope that Hannover will make it up to Bundesliga. Although I think it will be Elversberg who will be promoting, or it will be promoted to first division directly then on Sunday. And Hannover will probably end up in this playoff against then. We will cover it later. Yeah, but Hannover would be the club with an amazing fan base, with an amazing stadium, with a huge stadium at least. And Elversberg and Paderborn both are just clubs. I mean, just implies a disrespectful manner to discuss the teams. Of course, they were playing a great season, but in the end, it's a small stadium. It's something else than compared to Hannover and Schalke that would be promoted to Bundesliga. So I hope for Hannover, and we will see it on Sunday.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Hannover is the bigger club with the larger fan base. No one can argue about that. But obviously, if Elversberg or Paderborn, or maybe both of them, will go up, it is deserved. It's very well deserved, and they were very great at these clubs. And I mean, especially Elversberg were so close last season as well when they lost the relegation games against Heidenheim in the last minute. So it would be deserved. Let's see. I'm with you. I'm also hoping that Hannover will make it directly, but also Elversberg will play at home against Münster, who are, like I said already, going down, even are secured at the last place. Therefore, it's at least if you just look at the table, it's the easiest game. But of course, these games could bear the greatest danger as well. As Heizhof supporter, you know how difficult it is to play against team from the bottom part of the table. So let's see about it. I'm looking very forward to it. Yeah. And therefore, let's head directly to the last part of our episode, to the other games of the first league, Philipp.
Yeah, and there it's even crazier.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk maybe about the top part of the table, because the bottom part is the craziest one of all, I must say.
Maybe even of all time. It's insane. Yeah, but maybe the first 3 slots on the table are already determined. Of course, champion is Bayern Munich. Second is Borussia Dortmund, and third is RB Leipzig, the Red Bull club here from Germany. These 3 teams are already secured to play in the Champions League next year. And then there is this 4th slot. And for this 4th slot, there are three teams competing, namely Stuttgart, Hoffenheim, and Leverkusen.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stuttgart, Hoffenheim, Leverkusen, this is also the order of the table right now. Stuttgart will be playing in Frankfurt. We talked about Eintracht Frankfurt just 2 weeks ago when we had to play them. Of course, right now, not good results at Frankfurt, but they have a huge individual quality. And if they bring it on the pitch, it will be a very difficult game for Stuttgart. Hoffenheim, with the same amount of points as Stuttgart has, will be playing in Mönchengladbach. You would argue that this is at least easier than playing in Frankfurt. And then you have Leverkusen with 3 points behind Stuttgart and Hoffenheim, who must hope that Stuttgart and Hoffenheim both will lose. And if they would win against us, then, because they have the best goal difference, they would secure the 4th place for them.
It's the perfect example to see how important every single point is. If you are competing around these slots, every single loss can be devastating, especially against the lower placed teams. So now, let's see. Exciting. Behind these slots, there are 3 teams competing around the Europa League slots, right, Lennart?
It's a conference league, not the Europa League.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah, but of course, you're right about the 3 teams, Freiburg, Frankfurt, and Augsburg. Yeah.
Yes, and Freiburg with the highest chances to secure the last remaining Europe slot on the table with the Conference League. Behind Freiburg is Frankfurt, and then with slightly less probability, it's FC Augsburg.
Well, if you ask me, I would say Augsburg will make it.
Really? Why? Freiburg plays at
home against Leipzig. Very difficult game. Frankfurt, like we already said, will be playing at home against Stuttgart.
Yes.
And Augsburg playing in Berlin against Union. So if Augsburg would win their own game, both of the other teams will have to win their games as well. I don't believe Freiburg and Frankfurt will win. Therefore, if Augsburg is winning in Berlin, they will secure the Conference League, and this would be at least my guess.
Okay, so we will hold you accountable next week, Lennart.
What about you? I mean, if I make a prediction, you have to go with one as well?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it depends on what Frankfurt does with his coach, if they sack Vieira or not. At the moment, it looks like they don't and wait for the last match day. But I'm not close to Frankfurt. I don't know it. But if they really sack the coach and last game, then Stuttgart can prepare on the match because they don't know the tactics of the new coach. And then it's a different picture. And I think also in Berlin, it's difficult for Augsburg to win. Of course, Berlin is also confirmed to play in the Bundesliga next year. But last home game, they want to also say goodbye in a nice manner. They don't want to lose. So my guess, is Freiburg will stay there. They will win against Leipzig at home. But we will see. It's way more hard to predict what happens at the bottom of the table. And this constellation is insane.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we talked a lot about the game Wolfsburg against St. Pauli, or to have the right order, St. Pauli at home against Wolfsburg over the last weeks, because it was quite sure that this game would have meaning. Let's talk about that like this maybe. But that Heidenheim had this comeback, it's totally crazy. Did you know anyone, Philipp, who would have thought before the last match day Heidenheim has still a chance to secure the league?
No, absolutely not. Everyone was saying that Heidenheim will definitely relegate to second Bundesliga. And it's insane that they still have the chance to secure the league. I mean, they would need to win because 1 point is not enough. They would need to win their home match against Mainz, but that's absolutely possible. And then Wolfsburg and St. Pauli must draw. And,
not necessarily. If St. Pauli don't win higher than Heidenheim, Heidenheim will be standing before St. Pauli, and this would be enough as well.
You're right. So for Heidenheim, Wolfsburg may not win.
Yeah.
And if Wolfsburg loses, then it's on Heidenheim. And then they need to win better and higher than Pauli, because I think they do have roughly the same goal difference, right?
They have the same goal difference, but Heidenheim have scored 13 goals more. Therefore, if they will have the same difference in their wins, Heidenheim will stay before St. Pauli. And this is quite sure. But the difference between Wolfsburg and Heidenheim might be too huge, because if Wolfsburg would be winning, let's say 1-0, Heidenheim would need to win 4-0. This is not completely impossible, but very difficult.
Exciting. It will be an amazing last match day on Saturday. And we, of course, won't see the matches, because we will have a look at our own match in Leverkusen. But then afterwards, I'm so excited to see the reviews on my phone. And the whole constellation is just crazy.
Yeah, totally. Very excited about the whole weekend, like we said on the beginning of this episode. And then have a great, great summer break after that.
Exactly. And with that being said, Lennart, maybe I will give a short outlook on what's coming next. I would recommend following us on Instagram. I think this is the only second time that we are mentioning our Instagram channel, or maybe after the first 1 to 3 episodes. And follow us there. You can also always raise questions on this page. Just feel free to DM us, to send us a voice memo like you hear all these episodes. Drop your questions. Feel free to get in contact with us. It's hsvinternational.podcast. You will find us there. And you will also have the chance to get some insights on what we experience in Mallorca.
Yeah, looking very forward to it, to hear about you guys, and maybe have one of you in one of our episodes as well as a guest in the future. It's still a possibility. If you want, please message us. Maybe we can make it happen. So hope to see and to hear about you guys in the summer break, during the next months, in the next season. And that concludes our episode, I would say. So thank you for listening, and great week so far. So bye, guys.
Yes, thank you, Lennart. Bye-bye.